Hi folks, and welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 as we continue our playthrough as the British Empire, historically with no DLC. And I'm trying to lead you guys through all this, so ask away your questions. One question did come up, and this was an interesting one actually. It was about the police force that we made. You know, we kind of made a mistake. We didn't put the police in as a template. Well, when you create this template, by the way, this isn't finished. When we've got more experience to spare and we have an issue with garrisons. Actually, we have a slight issue with garrisons at the moment. And that it says we don't have enough support equipment. See, it's a very complicated subject, is this. So, as I said, there's two ways of doing it. One is just to have a single horseman and absolutely nothing else. That works. And the other is to have stacks and stacks of horsemen, plus some light tanks, plus some military police. That also works. Two different approaches. You can achieve the same result. There's been argument after argument on Reddit about this. Where's my cavalry? Where are they? Mobile battalions. We'll put some more cavalry in. It does cost experience to do this, so do this lightly, but we will save that. You can see the suppression goes up slightly. And the way this works, you can deploy them on the battlefield. There's no point in doing those, better stuff. What you actually do is you go in here to the occupied territories, and of course you assign as your default unit the police. And you can see here the number of manpower required per point of suppression is the best value of all the other divisions, because by default I think it has an infantry division which requires more manpower per point of suppression. So that's kind of why we do it, and the production cost and everything else, that's all taken into account. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is the type of territory management, and I said to go on to civilian oversight. Now this isn't a general, this is the best thing to use in all situations. No, sorry, absolutely not. I maybe should have made that clear. As Britain, at the start of the war with an empire, you don't really have to worry too much about garrisoning it. As you can see, the resistance levels across the empire, they're averaging about 6%. There's a couple of areas which is a little bit higher. Kingdom of Egypt, not so happy. So you can get away with civilian oversight. If you click on this, there's all sorts of penalties and everything. This is like for somewhere you haven't conquered, this is an easy mode. For somewhere you have conquered, and you'll notice this playing as Germany, we'll notice this playing as Britain later on, civilian oversight isn't going to cut it. And then you'd perhaps want to change that individual one to, for example, I have some with China, I must be talking about Hong Kong. I could change it to secret police, which would reduce resistance beneficially, but also reduce compliance negatively. So these are all a trade-off. I suggest having a huge read-up about it. There's people that disagree on all sorts of things. But for a beginner's point of view, I'm just going to say something that's going to work and isn't going to be too complicated. So we will probably use different types of territory management later on when we gather ourselves up a big empire. For example, when we've conquered Italian-held Africa and stuff like that. At that point, I think that'll be relevant to do, especially when we conquer Italy, which I am confident that we will. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff to take care of today. So we also made the epic mistake of accidentally copying a Malaysian infantry template instead of duplicating it or whatever we were supposed to do. We ended up with, yes, this, which, but we've also, because we're going to recruit some Malayan infantry. In fact, I might, if we look at British Malaya, they've got 3 templates. Let's just view that one. That's not bad, because what I would like to do is just get some basic garrison troops that are cheap over in that part of the world just to start occupying the ports against the invasion. Now, we don't need to rush for this because it's only March 1940. Japan will kick off at some point later, but we kind of do. Do you know what I'm going to... I don't duplicate it, do I? I copy it, and that's how we get it. So we're going to train about 20 of these. Oh, by the way, if you leave it on this, it'll be infinite number. It'll just carry on making. So I just change it to 1. And then I add the number of units I like by shift-clicking on there. And we can have 21, which is cool. And at that point, we're creating them down here. So they're going to be created in the war zone using mostly manpower from British Malaya, which has a good old... Oh, I should actually just make sure that it is in that port there in Singapore. And that way we can instantly redeploy them to wherever they need to be. So that's going to give me, I don't know, however many divisions to occupy the ports around here, which are going to be pretty important. Oh, I should maybe have edited that, actually. Yeah, because we don't need the engineers in here. So what I'm going to do is remove that, and we're just going to add in a couple more infantry, which I think will be better, and we have, well, I mean, not necessarily better, but as cheap and it'll be absolutely fine. And then we're not putting a huge demand on our support equipment, which is production of which is lagging behind a bit. So, and we haven't used too much army experience either. So that being said, did we need to edit this one? We're not training any of those just yet, but I would like to, but now is not the time. We've also got 2 armies that are near completion in Africa. And when I say near completion, I mean their job's nearly done. We're knocking out the Italians. That's going to free up a ton of troops, which is going to be amazing. We'll need to garrison these ports to hold off naval invasions. But there's like, what have we got there? We've got like 2 full armies of Indian troops, I think. Where are these chaps? So they're holding the top of there. That's just yes, their Indian troops, aren't they? Yes, they are. So the Indian troops are doing a good job of fighting their way through there. We still need to make some tank divisions. At the moment, we've got some terrible light tank divisions, which are March 1940, kind of historic. So that's fine. And then we need to get the Royal Marines involved, because my great plan for them, where are they? They're chilling somewhere. They're chilling in the UK somewhere. Yeah, they need to be trained. Let's send them down to Portsmouth, and we'll just retrain a bit. So it looks like they've lost a few materials there. Now, I had them occupying Corsica here. The idea being that when France fell, this would remain as Free France with my troops on it. It didn't work, and I think the reason was because when France fell, they initially, Vichy France was made as a puppet, and it wasn't instantly at war. It then got called to war. So in that microsecond between that happening, our troops got expelled because they were in foreign territory that they weren't at war with, and returned back here. And they probably got torpedoed on the way back, which is probably why that happened. So we'll train those up, and then I want to bring them down, because you'll notice Vichy France has some holdings down here. Now, these aren't too important in the grand scheme of things. However, it gives the Axis a naval base in the... is this the Indian Ocean? I'm guessing it is. And not only that, there is a little bit of rubber on there, which the Axis are desperately short of, because at the moment we control all the rubber trade. So we're going to get rid of that. Before that, I might use them to do naval landings to drop in these ports in North Africa and help swipe Italy out of here. But that's something to come. That's okay. I thought that was one of our big fleets involved in a fight, and we've got to be careful with that. There's something involved in a fight here. It's our submarines. Okay, we've spotted some of the Italian Navy. That's fine. Right, so all that being said and done, I think it's time to kick things off, finish off the Italians, and let's see how we get on. There's always a lot of admin stuff to go through with this game, and I can see why new players find this incredibly daunting to play. We've nearly got the support equipment sorted for the garrisons, which is good. Our production will increase on that, I'm sure. We need to save some points. Oh, we've got loads of naval points. Let's go spend that, because the Navy is really cool. So, just pause while we do this. So what I would like to spend this on is probably convoy escorts, because at the moment, that's the thing we probably have the biggest worry about. So let's go right down there. And that carriers. Now that gives us sub-detection, but it also gives us escort efficiency, which is that just for carriers though? It might be. I'm not sure if it is. But everything benefits from the next one along, so we're going to pick that anyway. And we have some carriers in play too. And we do want to build some more. And we have... Okay. Not as much in production here as I thought. Good. That's good news. So things are going on. Let's set some production off. We could do with some dockyards. So let's slap a load in Wales. We'll just slap a load in there. 10 dockyards for repairing the fleet and then creating new ships. So we'll get that on the list. Right, meanwhile, back to the exciting stuff. Or what I consider the exciting stuff. Hang on. Yes, let's just make sure that chap up there isn't going to then knock us out. We've got the new Bofors anti-air guns, which is pretty cool. We are in 1940. How's the industry looking? It's this line here. We're pretty much on course for that. That's good news. Slightly behind here. And oh, we've got a bonus for the Typhoon ground attack. Well, we've got the bonus. Let's take that. We'll get them done quickly. Right, so if I accelerate this, there we go. We should now annihilate that chap. We're trying to get in here, but there's not enough. There's not enough combined actions going on here. Let's just make sure everybody is in on this. Hang on. Come on, folks. We want to make sure no one's marching anywhere. We want to get these areas. Yeah, something a bit beefier than infantry to assault this would be perfect, I think. But anyway, let's make sure everyone's helping. Did we get him? Did we get him? No, we haven't got him yet. We've got this guy. But we're just... Tell you what, you know, we just select all that and we just... It's gone. Excellent. We march everything in. And we've got the Fairy Albacore. Excellent. New naval bomber. Naval bombers are, I think, really important. We've got... Look at these lovely research bonuses going forwards. Oh, but we do need to also research the Rock. So, was the Rock ever a British naval bomber? A carrier-based one? I've never heard of that. The Blackburn Rock. I've heard of the Swordfish and the Albacore. And then Britain started using some American designs. Some of the... what was it? Was it the Douglas Dauntless or something, I'm going to say? I don't know anyway. But let's get that research. We'll get our carrier naval bombers up as well. Right, okay. So I think... I hope...
Attention!
Let's just pile everything in. There's no finesse at this point. It's just like finish the job. Because it's nearly done anyway. And then that's done. And this is really cool. This is really, really cool. And we've nearly got Italy sorted out in North Africa. And then we can focus on... Oh, I thought they'd gone. Have we just lost vision on here? We might have done. Let's see if we can get the whole lot. I'm going to try this. Okay, I think they may only have...
Let them have it!
a little bit of cavalry in there. So let's see if this actually goes through. What do they have? Oh no, they have a bit more than I thought. Okay. It's that we can't see. And that's the problem there. Let me see what we've got in the way of aircraft. Have I been training anything? In fact, let's just have a quick look over here. We've still got issues where the enemy have got air superiority over here. And I don't like that. I do not like that. We've got enemy bombers. We do have fighters up in the air, but we're not... I need to get AA and radar, don't I? We should be researching some of this. Yeah, we've got the air defense one coming on. But the enemy have got a lot. It's Italian planes in there. How are they reaching over there? That's a long range from wherever they're flying from. We have air supremacy here, which doesn't really, you know, make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of odd, but this is what the game's given us. So do we have anything that we can throw in here? Carrier fighters, we could. I mean, they'll work. So I just need to get the air defense. Interwar fighters, I think, would be a bad thing to actually throw in. We need military factories. At the end of the day, we need more military factories. So where can we build a job lot of those? Do we have anywhere with 100%? I could put 3 more in London. I don't think I need worry too much. There's no point putting them where they're going to get bombed, actually, is there? That's kind of pointless. We'll put some up there, but I'll just hold back. So I don't want to put maximum in. I always like to leave one slot, at least, for other projects. So we do need more factories. That's fair enough. Oh, we've got more factories. Right then, we need to change the towed anti-air over. Is there anything else in there? Yeah, we've got the naval bomber. We'll put the better ones in. This does have increased production costs, of course, so there is a trade-off to this. Are we still seriously lacking in trucks? Yeah, we can't seem to get on top of the truck situation ever, which is really bad. The medium tanks are looking better. The light tanks, we'll keep that going for a bit because they're going to see some action. I can't believe we're building 10 trucks a day and we're probably getting some bombed, which is probably going to be a bit of an issue. But anyway, we will just have to live with that for now. I need fighters. I need fighters more than anything. So let's put... let's fill that up with those new military factories. And we should have some... Oh, we have a nice army. Okay. Now, we're going to have to put these into Britain. We'll put these a different colour so we can follow them quite easily. Let's give them a commander. Someone decent. Richard O'Connor. And we'll get these guys training. So this is... I mean, this is potentially a defence force for the UK in case an invasion comes. At the moment, that's not going to happen because we do have naval supremacy. But we do have to be careful with this. And I could do with a... What's my strike force looking like? It's got 27... No, it's not enough. I need more. I'd absolutely need more. And also, these carriers. Let me just have a look at the carriers over here. Did we ever get them filled up? 80 out of 80, 80 out of 80. We did. We got them filled up, although they're not trained, but that's fine. So I kind of need to do the same with these because they don't have enough aircraft. So that one's okay. And this one's only got 40 out of 80. So we're going to put some more carrier fighters on. And then probably the rest want to be... I don't really want to be wandering around there. The rest, I think, just want to be... We don't have enough. Damn it. So I may as well put some more carrier fighters in. It just makes the numbers up. It's not ideal, but it's fine. So, that's strike force. I don't think we want it leaving there. That's Denmark. That's okay. Yeah, we need to try and get some garrison troops around the place. But anyway, so we're about to finish off Italy and the Royal Marines. Kingdom of Romania has accepted the offer. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So they've joined the Allies. Trying to think what happened historically with Romania. They had a coup, didn't they? Or they were taken over by... not that guy, by... Is it Anton Simonescu? Am I thinking of the right ones? Anyway, they joined the Axis. But I need to read up on my history of that. I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments. Okay, so we've got an enemy force trying to break through over here. Let's have a look at the supply situation. Supplies are fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... Let's put this back on. I'm going to take one of you. And I'm just going to hold down control. And I'm going to assign it over there. And we're going to take some of these spare troops. We need to hold this. We do have another army on its way in a minute. So that's good. But we're just going to apply some more divisions onto that for now. Did we get through here, by the way? Because what we're trying to do... Oh, hang on. We did. Well, we're going to go for Tobruk if we can really quickly. I didn't spot that coming. Luckily, something held out. Oh, we didn't get to Tobruk. That's okay. So what we need to do is rapidly... I'll take these two divisions here.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can smash this force. In fact, let's not. Let's just hold off and let them exhaust themselves fighting and starving, and then we'll do something with it. So Hungary's joined the war. Let's see. Call to arms. Yeah, I mean, this is all... They've all joined automatically. Our manpower for the garrisons is slowly improving. As terrible as that is. Right. More production is necessary. By the way, folks, when you play this game, there's obviously no one right way to play it. There's lots of different approaches. I like to play it in a more fun, relaxed way, keeping a bit of historical flavour as we go. But there's certainly more optimal ways of playing than me. So if you're looking for advice on how to do the hardest challenge or player versus player stuff, what I tell you is it okay as a basic, but there are better ways of doing things. Just so you know, but for getting into the game, for learning it, playing it, this will work absolutely fine. Excellent. So who's this?
Yes, sir.
This is... Where are these guys at? So, right, okay. So these... Oh, this is perfect. Right, so what we're going to do is I would like to put these into... Let's put them into... They're going to call them the Med garrisons. Let's call this just garrisons. It is generally Africa.
Yes,
we can change individual army. Because that one's different. Med garrison. That one's important because that is actually holding some Gibraltar defense force. Interesting. Okay, they have taken some damage. They maybe got torpedoed on the way to Gibraltar. So I didn't send them out like that for sure.
Yes, sir.
Right, you guys, we're going to send this in order. So we're going to go area defense. But we only want it to hold naval bases. That's where the supplies come in. That's where the important thing is. So we're going to call this, this could be our Africa garrison, actually. In fact, let's click these on as well. And then we will make it our Africa garrison. We're probably not going to have enough troops in it, but that's okay, because we can combine some other things. And we just get the coastlines in, that's fine. And what we do is we add these in, so that when we expand across them, which we will, it'll automatically go and do it. So it needs 24 divisions for this, which is okay, because we are going to try and find some other guys to put in there. I'm not quite sure where from yet. I feel like we should be like garrisoning this as well, because I don't trust the AI to do it. However, this is okay. We're going to put these in. Free France is, I mean, Vichy France is looking very strong there, isn't it? Okay, we're going to do that. We are going to do that. But what we're also going to do is this guy. Do we press enter? Let's just come off that. Why are we not?
Ready, sir.
Is he already? Who is this?
Yes, sir.
Right, there's there 2 divisions there? Because I'm not seeing them. Right, I'm going to put them in there. And they'll be part of the orders to hold this area, so that's fine. And someone else, some other army has disbanded there. Don't know. There was an army there at some point, and there isn't one there now. And I'm sure it had 4 units in it. So great. I don't know what the answer to that is. Anyway, this is fine. So we've got an infantry army here. Now these guys could do with some retraining. They've had a bit of a battering. So I'm going to send these dudes up as a fallback line across here. And it spreads them out a little bit, but they should be able to get enough supplies there. And we put them on training. So those guys have hard fought. This standard infantry division, these aren't great for attacking, so I should be cautious with this. And then we've got the other Indian troops. Now these are in a lot better shape. And we can put these straight onto a front line here. And they should be able to hold quite well. And we're going to push back against Vichy France and the dastardly Germans over here. So if I do that one, those guys will arrive up there under Claude Auchinleck. And away they go. And we could probably do with some ground support aircraft. Let's see if do I have aircraft just generally chilling over here? They're all supporting Army 10, Army 2. Okay, each army has a few support in there. These guys, we've got some. I need more of those, but anyway, they will travel. Right, so we've done the first stage. Just want to make sure. You're in that army. I have a feeling I've disbanded some troops somewhere, but anyway, I'm sure they'll turn up. Let's see what the Navy's been doing. Our subs have found a big French fleet. There could be, and I better check on this. You guys are okay. They've seen actions. If you click on these, well, you see these little reports. It'll tell you that they've assisted in kills. They've got involved, which is good. They're repairing at the moment. They've got 36 escorts to 8. That's fine. That's a nice number. I could even put some more heavy ships in there if I wanted to. So far, so good. Low manpower. We have got slightly low manpower, but that's all right. We're taking advantage of our friends and allies' manpower from across the Empire at the moment. We're sinking enemy ships. We need to try and dominate some naval positions in here. So my option, I want to get the Marines involved.
Yes, sir.
These guys are ready. So what we're going to do, I tell you what, I do need to recruit, actually. We need to recruit some regular, these colonial garrisons. These are the slightly cheaper garrison units. But I do need to get a load of these in, just to, and they're British, which is fine. Give me, give me about 20, give me lots. So put them in a port as well. If you're going to recruit these, it's good to put them in somewhere with a naval base, because then when they appear, you can instantly, well, it doesn't matter too much. I can instantly assign them to an army and they'll just ship themselves out around the world. The danger with that is that they might also get torpedoed on the way, but I mean, you can't worry too much about such things. It is the dangers of war, after all. Right, so we check on our naval supremacy. This is something worth keeping an eye on at all times, because if that drops, Britain can be invaded. And at the moment, we only have 11 infantry divisions. We're 11 proper, strong, dangerous-looking infantry divisions in our home areas to defend. So the plan is to have an army of 24 divisions, push Vichy France out of here, and then we occupy it. The other army of 24 Indian divisions is going to push across North Africa, knocking Italy out, and then we occupy it. And then by that point, I think I can send a 24-strong army over to the Far East to prepare for Japan coming. We've got to have that in our mind and our background. We've got to prepare for that too. So 1940, we have a bonus for the heavy fighters, which we're not even producing at the moment. We have a massive bonus for these, but I mean, it's still going to take a long time, a year and a half to get them. We would be getting them very early, though. And that, I think I might spend this. This is a long way ahead, but if we get a fighter that's well ahead of the enemies, and it's still going to take a year and a half to do it, but if we get that early, then it will help in the aerial supremacy stakes, which, as you can see, we need help with. Although I'm not really contesting this, I'm just sending bombers up on interception duties, and we need radar, and we need AA defences. So I'm trying to conserve the RAF's manpower as best as I possibly can, especially if they're flying Gloucester Gladiators. Yeah, that's a thing. What else could we do with getting raised up? So we don't need to mess with tanks. We don't. This would help. Now, because I'm using military police in the police template, every one of these I get boosts their efficiency. They get more suppression bonus. We can get the war austerity trains, which actually are quite useful. Oh, we need these. We need the bonuses for the infantry. So that's always get that. If the time is there, you've got to get those. I'm not really contesting navally over the channel at all. Let me see what the force comparisons are now. We've got these interwar bombers, which they're going to be awful if I do anything with. We've got some close air support come out, which is good. We need to get some better ones of those. Let's train those fellas up. There's a lot of naval actions going off. When you're playing, feel free just to click around. If I do that now, we'll just be clicking on things forever. But it is nice to see what's going on when we're hitting the odd ship. Hey, the big fleet got involved. We sank 2 Italian light cruisers, 10 destroyers, and 5 Vichy French transports. Right, these guys must be in a bad state by now. So we send the tanks in. I usually wait for those to get engaged to make sure. There's a reason I do this. I pause the game immediately afterwards, because I want those to be the ones leading the attack. If you selected all the units you wanted to attack and then sent them in, there's a chance that some infantry or some cavalry would be the ones involved and the tanks would be sat in reserve. So I always do that first. I dare say you guys have seen me doing this. And then we add in a bit of support, and we can also hold Alt and click. And that way, the units we're doing that with, they won't move in afterwards, but they will support the attack. So we're just going to take this guy out quite nicely. Right, we've also, because we've got units up here now, we've got Indian units on this front line. This is very good. So I'm going to take all of these guys off. I'm actually going to delete the green army there. We don't need those guys there now. And also, if you have too many units in an area, it's like a huge supply drain. So we're going to pull those guys out. We are going to plan an attack, even if we're not necessarily going to trigger it. But we like to have the planning in. Just needs to go like that. They can plan, they can get bonuses. I don't know if we have an airport over here, do we? If we do not, we can quickly order one built. It doesn't need to... Oh, we should have something in there. That'll hold 400 aircraft, so that should be fine. I can't see it, but it must be... Oh, it's there. It's there. That's okay. The planes supporting them haven't transferred over yet. So that's good. And then this green army, which is just a purely... It's basically a defensive army. Are these guys actually... Oh, you should be on train order. In fact, surely everybody went to train? No, they maybe didn't. But we should have you... No one's holding this port. Oh, yes, we have. We've got someone there. That's fine. So, I will quickly stick these guys on training. It's a bit risky, because if they're just like one division in an area, if they get attacked, they're going to retreat. But I like taking risks. So, we've finally got the air defense bonus. We've been after that one for a little while. That gives us maximum air defense in East Anglia, Sussex and Southwest England. So we want radar next, because we're going to go for the bonus for radar before we start researching it. Would have been nice to have that earlier, but as you say, there's all sorts of priorities over these things, and unfortunately, something has to give. So the Marines,